Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed how something as simple as posture can change the way you feel and move through life? The truth is that poor posture can lead to a cascade of problems: chronic back pain, restricted breathing, digestive issues, and even an increased risk of falls. It's not just about looking older, it's about how these issues can limit your ability to enjoy life, whether it's standing at a family gathering or waiting in line at the store. Make no mistake, this is a challenge many seniors face, but it doesn't have to be that way. Today, we're going to explore how something as simple as strengthening your core can transform your posture, boost your confidence, and help you feel better than you have in years. Let's dive in. If you are not subscribed, I recommend subscribing and activating the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. When we focus only on walking, we often overlook the 5 other essential forms of movement that our bodies desperately need. It's easy to believe that just walking is enough, but doing so can cause harm in the long run. Ignoring these other movements can lead to muscle deterioration, which weakens your body's strength and resilience. It's heartbreaking, but this can increase your risk of falls, something no one wants to face, especially as we age. Not only does it put you in danger of injury, but it can also lead to joint damage, which only makes the situation worse. It's such a cruel irony that in trying to protect our bodies, we may be unintentionally harming them. In this video, I want to make sure you don't fall into that trap. I'm here to share with you the 5 critical areas of movement that you must prioritize beyond just walking. These are the forgotten heroes of physical health that can truly make a difference in your life. Trust me, when you make these simple yet powerful adjustments, you'll start noticing a profound difference. It's more than just adding years to your life. It's about truly living a better, more independent life. You deserve to have the strength and vitality to keep doing what you love for years to come. Please stay with me until the end, because I have one final recommendation that will change everything. It's something so rarely talked about, yet it's vital for your longevity. You'll want to hear it. And if you're watching, I'd appreciate it if you'd like, subscribe, and drop a comment with your city below. Let's build a community of people who are dedicated to living their best lives, no matter our age. Now let's begin with the most urgent priority, the one that's quietly affecting your strength every single day without you even realizing it. 1. Strength training, the missing piece. Walking can't provide. Walking is a fantastic way to keep your heart and mind in great shape, and don't get me wrong, it's incredibly beneficial. But here's the truth that most seniors, unfortunately, don't realize. It does almost nothing to combat the muscle loss that naturally occurs with age. After the age of 70, your body loses 3 to 5% of muscle mass every decade. This condition is known as sarcopenia, and it's a sneaky villain that quietly chips away at your strength over time. But it's not just about how you look, it's about something far more important: your independence. Muscle loss, my friends, is the silent thief of independence, especially for those of us in our 70s and beyond. When I speak with seniors who can no longer live independently, it's not their heart or lungs that have failed them first. No, it's their muscles. Think about it. The ability to rise from a chair, carry groceries, or climb stairs are the things that determine if you can continue to live in your own home. Walking alone, while wonderful for your heart and mind, won't keep you independent if your muscles are losing strength. Take a moment and think about your daily life. Have you noticed that grocery bags feel a little heavier than they used to? Do you find yourself pushing with your hands to stand up from soft chairs, struggling to rise from the cushions? Is opening a jar turning into a task that requires help? These aren't minor annoyances. They are warning signs that your muscles are weakening. It doesn't matter how much you walk, muscle loss happens gradually and often unnoticed. Let me tell you a story about Richard from Boston, who just turned 75. Richard walked 2 miles every day for years, thinking he was doing everything right to stay healthy. But over time, he began to notice that certain tasks were becoming more difficult. One day, when visiting his grandchildren, he struggled to lift his suitcase into the overhead bin. Getting out of his favorite chair became a struggle, and one morning he couldn't even open his medication bottle without help. Despite all that walking, his muscles were disappearing right under his nose. After a visit to his doctor, Richard learned a valuable lesson. Walking is fantastic for your heart and lungs, but it doesn't do much for the muscles in your arms, shoulders, chest, and core. Those muscles need resistance training, something to push or pull against to stay strong. And here's the good news. You don't need a gym membership or complicated equipment to start reversing muscle loss. Simple strength training with things like resistance bands, those colorful rubber strips you can find almost anywhere, body weight exercises like wall push-ups, or even lifting everyday household items like soup cans or water bottles can work wonders for you. Just a few weeks of consistency can make a huge difference. What's truly amazing is that strength training doesn't just make everyday tasks easier, it has far-reaching benefits for your overall health. Studies have shown that maintaining muscle mass is directly linked to a longer lifespan, better brain function, and even improved immune response. Yes, your muscles produce compounds that protect your brain and fight inflammation throughout your body. And here's something most people don't realize. Muscle mass helps your medications work better. With sufficient muscle mass, your body processes prescriptions more efficiently, which means you might need lower doses and experience fewer side effects. Now, let's take a moment to assess where you stand right now. Try this simple test. Sit in a chair and without using your hands, stand up fully. Then sit back down and repeat. If you can do this 5 to 10 times without struggling, that's a great sign. But if it's difficult or you can't do it at all, your leg strength needs immediate attention. I would love to know, what everyday task has become more difficult for you lately? Is it carrying groceries, getting out of chairs, or something else? Share with me in the comments below. Let's talk about how we can address these challenges together and make sure you stay strong, independent, and live your life to the fullest. You deserve it. 2. Balance training, what walking can't teach your body. You might think that just because you can walk a mile without falling, your balance is in perfect shape. But here's something that might catch you off guard. Walking on flat, predictable surfaces doesn't do much to maintain the complex balance systems that your body relies on every day. It's like having a smoke detector that's never tested. You won't know it's failing until it's too late. And by the time you realize something is wrong, it could be an emergency. Falls aren't just accidents. They're the leading cause of injury among adults over 70, sending more seniors to hospitals than any other single event. The heartbreaking part, many people never fully regain their independence after a serious fall. According to the CDC, 1 in 4 Americans aged 65 and older will fall each year. Yet fewer than half of those who fall report it to their doctor. Why? Because admitting that you have balance issues feels like admitting you're getting old, and no one wants to face that. The truth is that balance problems often sneak up on you. Your body is incredibly adaptive, and your brain and muscles have a way of compensating for small imbalances until one day, out of nowhere, you find yourself reaching for something on a shelf or stepping down from a curb, and suddenly, that terrifying moment of instability hits. At that point, you've already lost a significant amount of your balance ability. Take Margaret, for example. Margaret is 73 and has always walked 2 miles daily, believing herself to be in excellent shape. One cold winter morning, she stepped off a curb and her foot slipped just slightly. She didn't fall, but she caught herself just in time. That moment of fear stuck with her for days. I realized I was one bad step away from a broken hip, she told me, her voice shaking just at the memory. That feeling of being on the brink of disaster haunts so many of us as we age. Margaret's doctor explained something crucial. Despite her daily walks, her balance system had weakened over time. What happened? Walking is fantastic for forward movement in predictable, controlled environments, but it doesn't train the systems your body uses to maintain balance in more unpredictable situations. The vestibular system in your inner ear, the proprioceptors in your joints, and the quick response muscles that prevent falls all need specific exercises to stay sharp. These systems are crucial in moments when balance is most at risk, like when stepping off a curb or reaching for something in the kitchen. The good news is that balance can improve at any age with the right exercises. And you don't need to join a gym or invest in expensive equipment. Simple, everyday exercises can make a world of difference. For example, standing on one foot while brushing your teeth, walking heel to toe as if you're on a tightrope, or gently shifting your weight from side to side while standing. All of these simple movements create mild instability that teaches your body to react quickly in more unpredictable situations. It's so much more than just preventing falls. It's about teaching your body to respond to the unexpected. But that's not all. What many people don't realize is that balance training also improves brain function. The cerebellum, which coordinates movement, shares neural connections with areas of your brain responsible for memory and cognition. Research has shown that improving balance can enhance overall brain performance. That's right, improving your balance can make you smarter and more mentally sharp. It's a remarkable 2-for-1 benefit. Want to test your balance right now? Here's a simple test. Stand near a counter for safety, lift one foot about an inch off the ground, and see if you can hold steady for 10 seconds without touching anything for support. If you find this difficult, it's a sign that your balance needs immediate attention. I'd love to hear from you. When was the last time you felt unsteady or had to grab something to prevent a fall? 3. Flexibility and mobility, keeping your body young. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. When most of us think about staying active, walking is probably the first exercise that comes to mind. It's easy to see why. It's simple, accessible, and something many of us enjoy. However, there's a crucial component that walking alone neglects: maintaining your flexibility and range of motion. As we age, our bodies naturally experience some wear and tear. Our joints begin to tighten and our muscles lose their pliability. This can lead to limited movement, stiffness, and discomfort, making even basic tasks feel harder than they should. This is why simply walking isn't enough to keep you feeling youthful, agile, and free from pain. Picture this. You're driving and need to quickly check your blind spot, but when you turn your head, you realize it feels stiff and uncomfortable. Or perhaps you're reaching for a box on a high shelf and notice that it's a bit more of a struggle than it used to be. These moments might seem small, but they are important signs that your flexibility is declining. And the truth is, that decline can significantly affect your independence. Everyday tasks that were once effortless begin to feel burdensome, and you can no longer take your body's freedom for granted. Let me share the story of Thomas, a vibrant 78-year-old man who had always walked 2 miles every day, thinking he was doing everything right to stay healthy. He felt great at first, but then, over time, something started to change. Getting out of bed felt like a struggle. Bending down to tie his shoes became more challenging, and turning his head to check for traffic while driving felt like a task rather than a simple movement. Despite his dedication to walking, he noticed that he was becoming increasingly stiff and uncomfortable. It wasn't until he saw his doctor that he realized walking alone wasn't enough to keep his joints flexible. So why does this matter so much? When your body's flexibility starts to decline, you're at risk for developing stiffness that can cause pain and limit your ability to perform simple daily activities. And here's the good news: you can improve your flexibility at any age with simple, effective exercises. You don't need special equipment or a gym membership. Dynamic stretching and gentle mobility movements can easily be worked into your daily routine. For example, try neck rotations. Gently turn your head from side to side to stretch your neck muscles. Shoulder circles are another great way to increase mobility. Simply roll your shoulders forward and backward to release tension in your upper body. Incorporating gentle yoga movements like cat-cow stretches or seated forward bends can also do wonders for your body. These stretches help lubricate your joints and keep them pain-free. What's incredible is that research shows improving flexibility does more than just reduce discomfort. It also enhances circulation. When blood flows more freely throughout your body, you'll experience increased energy and an overall improvement in your well-being. I'd like to encourage you to check in with your flexibility. Try this simple self-assessment. Sit comfortably in a chair, then turn your head as far as you can to one side and then the other. How does it feel? Do you notice any tightness or restrictions? If so, that's a clear sign that your flexibility is something to focus on. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What movements have become more challenging for you lately? Is it bending down, reaching up, or even twisting to grab something off the shelf? Sharing these experiences might just help someone else realize they're dealing with similar issues and we can work together to find solutions. But flexibility isn't just about avoiding stiffness and pain. When we ignore flexibility, we risk creating other problems that affect our entire body. Poor posture is one of the most common results of a lack of flexibility and strength. It doesn't just make you look older, it can create a cascade of problems: chronic back pain, restricted breathing, digestive issues, and even an increased risk of falls. I've seen so many seniors struggle with the inability to stand comfortably for long periods, at family gatherings, while waiting in line, or even just during a casual conversation. The discomfort becomes so persistent that it can limit your social interactions and make life feel more difficult than it should be. Take Barbara, a 76-year-old woman from Phoenix who had walked religiously for decades, 3 miles every morning without fail. But despite her dedication, she started battling constant upper back pain and feeling short of breath, especially during the day. When she looked at photos from her granddaughter's graduation, she hardly recognized herself. "When did I start looking so hunched over?" she wondered. Barbara's doctor explained that, despite all her walking, her core muscles had weakened over time, allowing her spine to collapse forward. It was the beginning of a posture problem that was only getting worse. But the good news, there was hope. Instead of adding more walking to her routine, Barbara's doctor showed her simple core activation exercises that she could do anywhere. One of her favorites became standing against a wall with her shoulders and head touching the surface. She'd gently press her lower back toward the wall and hold the position while breathing deeply. She also started doing seated pelvic tilts while watching TV and abdominal bracing while standing in line at the grocery store. Within just 6 weeks, Barbara noticed remarkable changes. Her back pain diminished, her breathing became easier, and friends started commenting that she looked taller and more confident. "I feel like I've reclaimed inches of height I thought were gone forever," she told me with a smile. What's so powerful about strengthening your core muscles is how it positively impacts your entire body. Your core doesn't just support your spine, it also creates a stable platform for your lungs to expand fully, your digestive system to function properly, and your heart to pump more efficiently. Research has shown that improving posture can increase lung capacity by as much as 30% in seniors, which means more oxygen is delivered to every cell in your body, boosting both your physical and mental health. Incorporating exercises to improve flexibility and core strength isn't just about maintaining a youthful appearance. It's about reclaiming your quality of life and maintaining the ability to enjoy the activities you love for years to come. And trust me, it's never too late to start. Want to check your current posture? Here's a simple test that could reveal more than you might think. Stand with your back against a wall, making sure your heels, buttocks, shoulders, and head are all touching the surface. Does this position feel comfortable and natural, or does it feel a little off? If maintaining contact with the wall in all these spots is difficult, your posture has likely shifted from its optimal alignment. It might not seem like a big deal, but these shifts in posture can impact your overall mobility and strength, and over time, they can even contribute to discomfort and pain. Now let me ask you, what changes have you noticed in your posture over the years? Do you find yourself slouching more? Or has someone close to you pointed out that you're not standing as tall as you used to? These small observations might seem inconsequential, but they could be important signs that your posture is deteriorating, and you might not even realize it until it's affecting your daily life. Share your experiences with me in the comments below. I'd love to hear about how you've been navigating these changes. Your insights might even help others recognize similar shifts in their bodies and inspire them to take action before it's too late. Now let's move on to a crucial aspect that walking alone can make worse instead of better: joint protection. It's something that might surprise you, and it's possibly one of the most important insights of all. While walking is a great way to stay active, especially on hard surfaces like sidewalks and shopping malls, it can accelerate joint wear and tear after the age of 70. This is not just my opinion. Many rheumatologists and orthopedic specialists are now sounding the alarm about the damage walking on hard surfaces can cause over time. As we age, the cushioning cartilage in our knees, hips, and ankles naturally thins, and our bodies produce less of the synovial fluid that acts as the lubricant for our joints. This means that the shock-absorbing structures in our joints, which once helped us move freely without pain, become less resilient. When these changes occur, the repetitive impact of walking on hard surfaces can gradually damage the very joints we're trying to keep healthy. The consequences of joint damage go far beyond just occasional discomfort. For many seniors, joint pain becomes the primary reason they stop being active altogether. And when that happens, a difficult cycle begins. Less movement leads to more stiffness, which leads to even less movement, and independence slips away. Not because of an immediate accident, but because walking becomes too painful to continue. I've heard this time and time again from older adults who've experienced the gradual loss of mobility due to joint pain. Take William from Chicago, for example. At 77, William had been walking 2 miles every morning, rain or shine, for decades. As a former postal worker, he was proud of his dedication to staying active, but gradually he started noticing persistent pain in his knees. Not just during his walks, but for hours afterward. I thought I just needed to push through it, he told me. My father always said, no pain, no gain. But when William went to see his doctor, he was given a wake-up call. The pain wasn't helping him build strength. It was a sign that his joints were being damaged with every step. The solution wasn't to stop moving altogether, but to change the way he was moving. William's doctor recommended low-impact alternatives that would strengthen the muscles around his joints without the constant pounding. He began swimming 3 times a week at his local YMCA, using a stationary recumbent bike on other days and practicing gentle chair-based movements to maintain his mobility without the stress of walking. Within a month, his knee pain had decreased dramatically. "I'm moving more than ever," William shared with a smile, "but without the constant aching that used to keep me up at night." The science behind this is fascinating and encouraging. Different types of movement apply varying pressure patterns that help distribute synovial fluid throughout the joint space, like working oil into a squeaky hinge. This improved lubrication reduces friction and provides essential nutrients to cartilage. Water exercises, in particular, are especially effective because they allow a full range of motion with minimal joint stress. The buoyancy of water removes about 90% of your body weight from your joints while still providing resistance to strengthen muscles. Here's a simple way to assess your current joint health. Pay attention to how your body feels an hour after walking. Do your knees, hips, or feet feel comfortable, or do you experience aching, stiffness, or discomfort? Post-activity pain that lasts more than an hour is your body's way of saying that this movement is causing stress, not helping to heal or improve health. One benefit that's rarely discussed is how improving joint health can reduce your reliance on pain medication. Many seniors find that after practicing proper joint care, their need for pain relievers decreases significantly. William, for instance, was able to stop taking daily anti-inflammatory medications entirely after 3 months of joint-friendly exercises. The best part? He felt better than ever. Before making any changes to your routine, though, it's essential to consult with your healthcare provider. Everyone's body is different, and your specific joint conditions, overall health, and medications all factor into what approach is safest for you. Please take that first step toward a joint-friendly lifestyle. I'd love to hear from you. Do you experience any discomfort in your knees, hips, or feet after walking? How long does it typically last? Your experiences might help others recognize similar patterns in themselves, and by sharing, we can create a community of support and understanding. Please share in the comments below. Now that we've covered all 5 critical areas that walking alone can't address, let's pull everything together and talk about how you can start implementing these changes into your life. We've covered the essential movements your body needs after 70 that walking alone can't provide. Strength training to preserve muscle, balance exercises to prevent falls, flexibility work to maintain mobility, core exercises for better posture, and joint-friendly alternatives to protect your knees and hips. Remember, aging doesn't have to mean decline. Ironman seniors see remarkable improvements when they focus on these 5 areas. Your body is still capable of adapting, responding, and growing stronger at any age. I encourage you to identify which of these areas needs your attention most urgently and start there. Every step you take will help you reclaim your independence, feel better in your body, and live a healthier, more active life. You deserve it. As we wrap up today's video, I want to take a moment to reflect on everything we've covered. From the importance of strength training to prevent muscle loss, to the critical need for balance exercises and flexibility work, we've explored the essential practices that walking alone just can't provide. We've also discussed the importance of protecting your joints and the impact of proper posture on your overall well-being. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What have you learned so far? Is there one key takeaway that stood out to you? What will you be incorporating into your daily routine to help you stay stronger, more flexible, and more independent? Please share one thing you've learned and plan to practice in the comments below this video. If you liked this video, please leave a comment below and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Your support helps us continue to bring valuable content that can make a real difference in your life. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.